meeting. Welcome to the January 2024 Houston County Historical Society meeting. We will call the meeting
What
to
is
order.
that thing here, Miss?
Please silence your phones.
Spin
There's
her
a
over the
sign-in
picture
sheet
for me?
going around as well. We will begin with the pledge to the flag. Mr. Howard Spurgeon will lead us in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I would ask if you all got your meeting minutes from last month.
right there. We didn't
Melissa
sign
said
that in,
They
y'all?
were to be sent out this morning, but she called and said she was sick and didn't get to send those out. So we didn't get them for that purpose. The treasurer's report, Leah.
At the end of the, I'll just make this quick, at the end of the year, we have $1,827.51 in our checking account, and the CDs, $10,595.26. And we still have $123.52 in the artifact account. I know Melissa will tell you next month, she bought a couple of artifacts off of eBay, folks selling. So she'll tell you all the stuff. She has gotten quite a bit in the last couple of months from people donating items, so.
Do we need to put more money in that account?
We're fine for now.
Are there any questions or comments on the treasurer's report?
Will we approve?
Motion to accept? Second. Approve? Say aye, yes? Disapprove? Our program next month is show and tell. We usually have in February a show and tell because if we have a speaker, then if weather is bad, then we have to cancel a speaker and this and the other. Show and tell, if it's 100 years old, give or take, if you'd like to present that, just bring something and show and tell. And that way we can cancel it if we need it to. Let's see. Old business, membership, New Year membership, $10 per household per year, or $50 per household for lifetime membership. Is there any other old business you'd like to discuss before we get to our swearing in of the officers and our speaker? Old business or new business? We still have some maps available. Melissa will probably put those in the minutes. And are you working on anything now, Jackie, for just wrapping up with what we worked on before? Okay.
Has everybody signed in?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Joey Brake is our county mayor. He's going to do our presentation this afternoon, the state of the county. But his first official duty will be swearing in of the officers of the Historical Society. Officers, Melissa, Leah.
Yeah.
Deborah Stanfield, Bill Mayo, Melissa Barker, and Miss Leah Bailey. Y'all come up.
Here, we'll put you in between.
You have been elected by the Houston County Historical Society to serve as an officer of this organization for the year of 2024 to the best of your ability. Will you promise to fulfill the duties of the office to which you have been elected as those duties are presented in the bylaws of the organization? Respond by stating, I will.
I will. Now we have.
Board of Directors is Gary Booker, Rodney Lowe, Vanetta James, Jackie Bateman, K. French, Mitchell Lindsey, and Dan Osborne. Come on, Bill. We have been elected by the Houston County Historical Society to serve on the Board of Directors for 2024. Will you promise to fulfill your responsibility as a board member, attend meetings whenever possible, contribute your ideas and talents to fulfill the purpose of the Houston County Historical Society as laid out in the bylaws of this organization? Respond by stating, I will. I will. Congratulations. I said last year when they invited me that they must be bored. I guess you're still bored. But I would like to, before we start, ask Mr. Donald Bateman to say a prayer, please.
Our Father, bless this meeting and bless the ones that are in attendance. Guide us to do thy will, and we give all the honor to you for everything that we have. In thy name, amen.
To start out, Houston County, 2023 was I guess you could call it some challenges to it, but it actually was pretty good. Houston County, we are financially in good shape. We've got a lot going on in the county, applying for a lot of grants. Whether you like grants or not, if we didn't have them in this county, there'd be a lot of things that wouldn't be here if we didn't have grants. I guess we'll start out from the lake end down there. We have been notified that we are going to get, I believe, 22 more acres from TVA down there that joined our park. And we should get that signed over by August of this year for the county. So that should give us some more campsites for the county down there. The lake area is, some people love the lake area. I'm not a lake person, but I do like the lake. I like to go down there, but I'm not gonna go down and stay a week. But it's a lot of revenue for Houston County. We get a lot of revenue off the lake. We're part of the 7 counties. We do receive funding by joining the river down there. It's Rivers Resort money, and we usually get about, this 23, we got about $100,000 for our county. So that helps us out, and that helps us to do some spending down there for certain things. We've got a lot of ideas. The commission has been involved with a lot of ideas, and myself and other people too. Everything costs money. I mean, everything costs money, and there's no such thing as something cheap anymore. But hopefully when we get this 20-something more acres, you'll see more campsites coming up in the 24, 25, probably 25 before the campsites are ready. But we got other people that own campsites down there, and they, like Cane Creek and those places, they're not part of the county, but they are part of the county. they are full. I mean, they're full, and if you drive down there and look, most of those license plates there's very few in Houston County. Most of them are from out of town. They come in here and they like to spend the weekend or 3 or 4 days, and then they want to go home. But we want them to come. We want them to spend a little money while they're here too. But besides that, moving back this way, we got a National Guard Armory that actually shut down this year. They left and they moved their whole thing. They're actually moved out of state. So Houston County, we're trying to get the National Guard Armory. We have been in constant contact with Colonel Milligan, all of them. Talked to Governor Lee, talked to our state senator, talked to the U.S. senators, and they're telling us that if nothing military comes back here, that we have the first shot at it, the county. And our commission is in full support of this, I would sure think. And I know the 4 that's here tonight are in full support of this. But we've actually got a senior citizen place up here on the hill it's a good place, but it's not a good place to be at, if that makes sense. It's not
For seniors.
It's not a good place for seniors at all. But that was one of our goals. The first thing, if we get to Armory, our senior citizens is going there for sure. And that's one thing that the commission's talked about, and they are the first thing that's going up there. But we see a lot of usage out of this Armory. I mean, it's probably the best building in Houston County. We're looking at, if we get it, put our archives up there. We got a veteran. We're gonna move them over there, and we're actually wanting to put a welcome center there. I had kind of always thought that a welcome center would be great for the county, and why would Houston County want to go build a welcome center for $4 or $5 million when you got a building right there that's as good as there is, and you can put your welcome center right there, and it won't cost you nothing really. We can get the grants to cover it and pay for it. That's something else that we have. Houston County was not in the master plan this time, and we had to re-sign for a master plan. A master plan is for a recreation grant for your county, and we're not eligible to get recreation grants. And so we're in the process of getting our master plan. I actually talked to the people yesterday that's doing the plan for us, and you will probably see some surveys coming out, and I hope you'll respond to them. I hope people in here sign up and send something back. You will have the opportunity, because I know I'll be bringing some to Rotary and different places across the county, and we'll make sure the Historical Society gets them too. But they won't comment from the public about this master plan. What a master plan is pretty much what you want Houston County to look like in 10 years from now. Your vision of Houston County. And without that master plan, we can apply for all the recreation grants we want, but we won't get them. We're going to get turned down. But part of the master plan, getting recreation grants, there is going to be a sign up in April or May. There's going to be a grant sign up period, and I'm pretty confident we're going to get it. We're going to get one of the grants. But that's kind of the reason the Armory is really important to the county, is because we can use the Armory on a grant. We can use it, and we can spend money on the Armory that's grant money. It won't cost the taxpayers money. And if we get the Armory, our plan is to, the county commission is, I don't know if you been to the ball field or not at the Ridge, but the ball field looked a lot different than it did. The county commission paid for putting new fences up there, And I know some of the people that's involved in the ball have fixed the field up, and it actually looks a lot better than it did when 2 or 3 years ago, or 3 or 4 years ago. But if we get the Armory, we're wanting to put a soccer field in. There's no soccer field in the county, and there is a lot of kids that are interested in soccer. We've got to try to do things to keep the young ones at home. But, I mean, jobs would be the best thing to keep them here. But there's not a lot of jobs here in the county. That's the reason that Daisian, this company down here, is important to this county. And we're hoping that everything gets worked out where they come here. Because those jobs will be pretty good jobs, and hopefully if it'll keep 10 or 12 young people from leaving the county. And we want our young ones here to stay here. We're becoming more of a retirement community, especially down toward the lake area. There's a lot of building going on, a lot of building going to be going on this year down there. There's a lot going on now, as of now, but a lot of those people are moving in here from other parts of the country, and a lot of them are retiring and moving here, which that's fine. That's fine. Those big houses bring a lot of tax money into the county, and we welcome all dollars. I promise you. We probably got between myself and the county commission, we're probably the biggest Jews in the county. We like money. We like to get every penny we can, and that's what keeps us going. But also we've actually applied this year. We just applied for a convenience center. We did get a grant there, a new grant for a convenience center to buy a new compactor. So we're eventually here in the next couple of months, you'll see the old compactor on top up there. It'll be pulled out and it'll be replaced with a new one. And our vision, our plan in the next couple of years is, there's nothing wrong with our old compactor, but we had the opportunity to get a grant to get a new one, so we took the grant. It's only going to cost us like $5,000 for a compactor, so we took it. But our vision is maybe not in 24, but in 25, that we're wanting to make a convenience center down toward the lake. Have one open for like Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, 3 days a week, kind of like the Cumberland City one out there. But there's a lot of garbage that comes from down toward the lake, and it would take some pressure off this one up here if you had one open 3 days a week, and it'd be convenient for the people that drive 18 or 19 miles too, to have something there close. So you will probably see that happen in 25, I would sure think. It would definitely be on the agenda in 25. It probably won't be in 24. But we will have our compactor to carry down there to run 3 days a week. So, and to get back on the convenience center, we've been blessed with good people out there, and they're the ones that make the convenience center work. I mean, our convenience center is, some people call it a dump, but it's a convenience center, is what it is. I used to call it the dump too. It's actually a convenience center, but and this is no jab at nobody, but when I first came into office, we shipped these boxes. Montgomery County hauled our garbage for us, and they actually charge us $450 for every box that goes out. Up there, charge $450. If it weighs 500 pounds, if it weighs 8 tons. 8 tons is the max what you're supposed to have. But if you got 500 pounds, it costs you $450. So when we first came in, our boxes were, I got to looking, and I thought, man, these things are light. So I got to figuring, and our boxes were averaging about 3.5 tons. But we were paying an 8-ton price. So I couldn't I thought something was bad wrong, so I actually, after I got swore in on Tuesday, Monday was a holiday, so Tuesday I went up there and I just happened to be there walking around looking, and here comes a Montgomery County truck with an empty box. He brings it in and lays it out. He pulls over and he gets under one of our other boxes, and it's about half full. So I just walked over and asked him a question. I said, what are you doing with this one? He said, we're carrying it back. I said, well, it ain't but half full. And he said, that don't matter. He said, that's the way we've always done it. I said, well, this will be your last one. He said, half one, I promise you. So he pulls over and he tells one of the guys working there, he said, that SOB said, this is my last one. He said, who is he? He said, probably the guy that's going to stop you carrying the house empty. So, but yesterday I just got a report for December, and our boxes in December was 7.10 tons. And every month, I track our boxes because it's money for the county. We've had 2 months out of 12, and this is, I show this to anybody who wants to see it on paper. It's on paper. We've had 2 months that our boxes average less than 7 tons. 10 months we've averaged over 7 or better. Well, you figure it up in savings, we saved about $112,000. We were on the verge of having to do some kind of charge. I mean, and eventually, I will say this, one of these days we're going to have to charge for trash. I mean, it's not going away. It's getting to be a bigger problem. One thing that Montgomery County has started doing this year, if you throw a mattress away now, it costs you $10. If we get mattresses up here, Montgomery County charges us $10 for every one we carry. And that used to not happen. But I know in the month of December alone, we had 31 mattresses. Is that a lot of money? $310. Some months we've had 40, 45. But I actually asked the guy from Montgomery County, I said, well, do y'all have a lot of mattresses? And he said, we usually get about 75 a day in Montgomery County. So they bought a piece of equipment. They won't let you put mattresses in the ground anymore, so they had to buy a piece of equipment that cost about $800,000 to shred these mattresses. So they started charging us. Eventually, I mean, it's not happening tomorrow, but eventually, if you throw a mattress away in Houston County, it's probably going to cost you $10. And I mean, we have kept we're the only convenience center around anywhere that does not charge. You can go anywhere you want to go. Dixon, Montgomery, Stewart, Dixon, anywhere, or Humphreys, anywhere you want to go, they charge to throw garbage away. And we don't. I mean, we have been blessed not to charge the citizens of the county to throw your garbage away. I see it coming down the road, but is it going to happen this year? I don't think so. I don't think it will. I think we're good. But the thing about that, when you don't charge your garbage, if you don't watch, you'll have other people come from other counties to come. We actually had a guy a couple of weeks ago, and our guy, he caught him coming in there from a different county, and he wouldn't let him dump. And that he done the right thing, because I'm not supposed to go to Cheatham County or Dixon County or Humphreys and dump my garbage with Houston County tags. But if you own land, I don't care what your tags are, if you own land in Houston County, you can dump garbage here for free. But you've got to own property or a house. You can't come from, but a lot of people will try you to see because you're free. You go to Montgomery County, you're going to cross the scales when you go in there, and you'll pay when you come out. That's how they do. I mean, but we have not done that, and I give the credit to the guys that work there. They've made it happen and made it work. But our commission, and I will brag on them. We got 14 commissioners, and we've been pretty blessed. I mean, these four here, especially Glenn and Howard Randall, they've been a blessing for me, because I watched Carter grow from a kid. He's still a kid to me, but he's like my own. He's like my own son. I mean, seriously, and I thank the world of that boy. And he is, he's got a great future ahead of him. I promise you, that boy will do well in life, if I keep him away from wrong. But no, Carter is a great commissioner. He's learned a lot since he come on. He was young when he started, but it's almost like he fell in the pack, and like a pack of dogs, he went to work. But the commissioners have stepped up when we needed to for the convenience center. There's been a time or two that we were kind of struggling out there, but we got through it, and I went to Nashville. I got called to Nashville to come up to the state office one day, and I didn't know what it was about. When I get there, the mayors from Murfreesboro and Franklin and everywhere, and so they started talking about convenience centers, and they said, well, and he said, you know, Houston County, the state man, he stands up there and he said, you know, he said, y'all were, he said, I don't want to put you down, but he said, y'all were the second worst convenience center in the state of Tennessee one time. But he said, now you're in the top 5 in the state. So something's right when they tell you that. You're doing something right. I'm not doing it. The guys that work there are. They make it happen. They keep the gates open. They're pretty good about trying to help you get unloaded, if they can. Do we have problems out there? Every once in a while we do. Yep. I mean, it's going to happen. But we're doing pretty well with that. But after that, I mean, we're coming now. We've actually applied for a grant. We got a phone call about a month and a half ago from GNRC. They're one of our partners we work with out of Nashville, and they're actually pretty good to Houston County. Been real good to us. I think they have. They've been real good to me. But they told me that there was some money coming available for a grant. And he said, I'd like to see you put in for it. And I said, well, what's it for? He said, well, you can expand your courthouse. You can make your courthouse bigger. You can spend money on it. I said, well, how much money are you talking about? He said, well, $2 million if you want it. So I actually got on the phone and called my commissioners, come up and talk to them, and asked them, and they said, yeah, we need to do this. So it was an 80-20 grant. 80%, they'll cover 80%, and you cover 20. Well, after about 2 or 3 days, I got to talking to them. Well, they called back and they said, well, now it's even better. They said it's 90%. They're going to pay 90 of it. All you're going to pay is 100. I mean, 10%. So the people from GNRC told me that said we'll write the grant for you if y'all get the plan. So we got on the phone and got Mr. Seth Ryan involved. He's the engineer, and so he drew up some plans for us and sent them in. And so GNRC said, well, said we get 60% to write it. So anyway, being the Jew that I am, I called them and tried to Jew them down. I said, that's pretty high. That's $120,000 to write it, you know. So they finally come back and said, we'll do it for 4.5%. So they come up, they knocked $30,000. But, you know, $30,000 to me is a lot of money. That's a lot of money, you know, for county. So, but anyway, our drawing is to, and we will hear about this grant probably at the end of February, 1st of March, is what they're telling us. But I'm pretty sure we're going to get something. And I actually asked them, I said, is this going to be a continuous grant? They said, no, this is a one-time deal. That's it. Said this is one time only. This money will be gone. So I said, well, we better try to get it off. So we've applied for $2.2 million, what we've applied, and if we get it, you'll see we're going to add 30 feet to our courthouse, and it's going to come out from this end, out toward where the veterans stuff is. We're going to come 30 more feet. We're going to go all the way to the top. We're going to expand offices. We're going to have a conference room. where people can come. It's not just courthouse employees, anybody can come in there and have conferences in there. But we're gonna have handicap accessible on the front of the courthouse. It's long overdue. I think it is. But on the back of the courthouse, we've only got one handicap parking, and we've got in the drawings, we're gonna clean, we own a little bit of the ground there, so we're gonna clean it off, and we're gonna add about 3 or 4 more handicap spots there to park for our seniors and Howard and Glenn. One of them's got a cane, the other's got a walker. But I'm pretty excited about that grant. I really feel like the GNRC, they were the ones that contacted me about it, and if they weren't pretty sure that we were going to get it, I don't think they'd be offering to write it. I don't know if we'll get the full 2.2. We're going to get 2, or we could get 2, but I feel pretty confident. I'd like to tell you in about 2 or 3 months that we got the whole $2 million. But and we did get another grant of $100,000, and it's 100%. We don't have to pay any of it, and we're going to upgrade our Wi-Fi and stuff in the courthouse now. That will be coming pretty soon. But we got $100,000 of that, and that's a 100% grant. We've already know we got it. But if we get this grant and we get the National Guard Army, I feel like we've accomplished a lot in our county. I don't think people realize how important this army would be to come to the county. There's multiple uses for this county right there. It would save a lot of tax money. But as far as industry, nobody knocking the door down to come to here in Houston County. But we do have a possibility at the industrial park with Days Inn. I hope everything works good with them. We have other property there available. We get a lot of emails from people interested. But companies, you're competing against the whole state, and there's a lot of politics involved in everything. And I try to play politics as much as I can, but I feel like I've reached out to every politician I know about the armory. I told somebody the other day, they asked me, said, what's it look like? I said, well, if politics to get it, we've got it. But politics may not get it. But I do know one thing for sure, that Colonel Milligan texted or emailed me and told me that there will never be another military anything there. So we know that's not going to happen. So unless the state has somebody that they want to put in there, I think it looked pretty good for Houston County to get it. So I cross my fingers, keep looking at my emails, thinking that we'll get something. But the thing about it is, Governor Lee's going to make that. He's the one that makes that decision. It's totally him. I don't know. I know it's a process to do everything, but it will come. He's going to be the one to make the decision. So I hope we let him know enough that we do want it. He at least gives us an opportunity to get it. I don't care if he gives it to us in a long-term lease, as long as we get it. I'd like to have the whole building, but if we can't get it, I'd be tickled to death for a 30-year lease with it. We won't have to. Me and you won't have to worry about that, Cowboys, unless we're on a cane or a wall. But that's pretty much about all we got. I don't write no speech, because speech don't mean a whole lot to me, somebody else's words. But I'll take any questions you got, or I'll try to answer them. Anybody got any? But I will say Houston County is a great place to live. If you don't believe it, just get in the truck with me and I'll carry you going out on some deer hide runs. We'll we'll go through some of these cities and I'll just it's just amazing, the traffic. And we're blessed. I tell everybody all the time, we're blessed over there. Only traffic jam I ever see is the morning when school's going on. There'll be a little traffic back up down Rossburg.
Yeah.
We are blessed. We have it doesn't cost a lot of money. I mean, in today's world, it costs a lot of money to do anything, but our cost of living is actually relatively cheap compared to Montgomery County and other counties around us. We're pretty good.
Joey,
Yeah.
you have a time frame, there's gonna be a bridge eventually from 31st Airborne across Cumming City, coming out here to Elmira, connecting 149. You know the time frame for that?
Well, I don't know the exact time frame on the one, I call it 374. When I was talking to our state senators and stuff about it, they were thinking maybe 26, but that's not gonna happen. The reason I'm saying that is TDOT right now, they're finishing a lane on, I don't know if anybody's ever been up 65, going toward, from Nashville to Kentucky border. They've added a lane there, all the way from Nashville to Kentucky border. Well, next on the agenda is, it will be starting this year, 24, they're gonna add a lane on Interstate 24. But it's gonna start at the Kentucky border and it's gonna come back to Clarksville first, one lane. And then it'll eventually go to Nashville, one more lane, and that's gonna take priority over 374. I do know that, and the reason being is, if you've been on Interstate 24, it's not hardly big enough for the traffic flow that's there, and that's got, I forgot how many, I was actually in a meeting with Brian Collins and them there not long ago, and I forgot, it's millions of dollars to come to, they spent millions of dollars from Nashville to the Kentucky border with one lane. But one thing they are doing, I think is a good thing on 24, instead of coming out of Nashville, they're starting in Kentucky and coming through. If you go to Clarksville, exit 1 and 4 are your busy exit. I mean, getting on the interstate, so that will help by starting there. It'll help with our traffic some, I hope. But I think 374, whenever it does cross over, they're saying if you know where Carl's Cabinet Shop is up there, that's where the road's going to come out at, right in there, right in around Carl's. I was first told down at the bottom of the hill, down at the dollar store. Well, that's not correct according to TDOT. They're saying it's going to come out of there close to Carl's Cabinet Shop. But I think you'll see some growth in this area from that. When it gets here, I mean, I'm gonna, if I were to guess it, I'd say it'd be 2030 before it happens. Which I talked to Montgomery County Mayor. That's one thing we've been pretty blessed too, is we've got a good relationship with our mayors around here local. And I mean, Montgomery County's mayor, he just went through a devastating blow with the tornadoes there. And Stewart County's mayor is, we've got a good relationship with him. And Stewart and Houston County hasn't always got along. They haven't got along very good together. But we are working together pretty good. But Wes is the mayor of Montgomery County, and he knows that they're out of room for roads. I mean, they're just out of room. I mean, there's just nowhere else to put a road, and the only one they got left is 374, which, to me, I don't think there could be nothing more bad than have 374 coming to Palmyra Road, but according to TDOT standards, and I'm sure that's right, the interstate system is more important, no doubt. So that's part of the plan. In 24, you'll see some interstate work on 24. They're going to be starting that pretty quick because they're just about done with the 65 part. They're almost done with it. Yes, sir.
I'm 71 years old now, and it's like, I've watched Houston County over the years. I don't ever remember there being property values going up as much as they seem to be now in Houston County. Could you kind of speak to that? And I think it's a really good thing, but are you seeing and hearing anything about just the value of our land and property here in the county?
Well, it has. I mean, COVID had something to do with property values, I'm sure. But before, I mean, if you look at the people that's moving into the counties, I mean, and I talked to a few of them, not all of them, but these people are getting out of these big cities. They're getting out of these, a lot of people are retiring. They're in these fast-paced cities that nobody knows, you don't even know your next door neighbor, you know, and it's a fast-paced life, and they're wanting to get somewhere where it's quiet. And that's the reason a lot of people are moving down Border Lake here, because they can buy a lot down there and it's kind of quiet out, you know, but yeah, I mean, the property values have went up, which they went up everywhere. It's not just here, but I actually think they have actually leveled off some. 2 years ago, I will say this, 2 years ago, if you had a piece of property or house, you put up for sale, it probably sold that day, or within a week. Now, even, I mean, I've actually talked to some people even in Montgomery County, and it's slowed down some. I mean, it's, and I think the interest rate has probably slowed it down. You know, our interest rate went from 4% to 8.5%. That's probably slowed it down some, but like our reappraisal we had in 23, we will have another one in 26. And it probably wouldn't surprise, I mean, I may be wrong, but it wouldn't surprise me if our property value may go down a little bit in 26 versus, they went up a lot from 20 to 23. They did quite a bit, but it wouldn't surprise me if they don't come down a little bit, you know, which, there were some people's property taxes, even though the appraisal rates went up in the county, you know, appraisal rates went up a lot, but some people's taxes actually came down. There was some that went up a little bit, but some people's actually came down. But I don't know what really drove. I mean, I do think, you know, I mean, like I say, I talked to these people, and a lot of them, I said, how do you find here in Tennessee, you know? They said, well, we get to looking on these, I forgot, Planet Earth or Google Maps and all this stuff, and that, you know, we look for places that quiet, and you know, one thing that they do ask me, one of the first things that they look for is to see what kind of healthcare facility you got, to see, make sure you got a hospital in your county, and that's I mean, our hospital has not been. Our county commission, I was actually on the commission when we bought the hospital, and it didn't go exactly from what we were told it was going to happen, but, and our county commission raised taxes to pay for the hospital, and the best thing we ever done is let the hospital go to this company that owned it, and I wish them well. I hope they do good. It took the burden off the taxpayers' back when they took it. And, you know, just like Daisy and coming down here to Industrial Park, these companies come here first, they won't know if you got a hospital. They won't know what kind of healthcare facility you got. And they want to know about they want to know about your internet. They want to know what kind of internet you got. 2 big factors in the county. But whether you like the hospital or not, I really believe that they are doing better. Seem to be. One time it was pretty tough. Pretty tough. And I mean, Dr. Martin there, I mean, he's been a doctor in this county. I mean, I was a baby when I went to. I wasn't a baby, but I was young when I went to it. And he thought, you know, what kind of boy are you? You know, you ain't supposed to be sick, but I was. But, you know, Dr. Martin he's more than a doctor in this county. He's a friend to the people, you know. And, there's a lot of counties you go to, your doctor, you go see him and you're out in 2 minutes. You see Dr. Martin, you know, you can always have a little chat with him about something. And to me, that's worth more than him doctoring me. But, you know, I remember the days of Dr. Mitchum, Dr. Lee, and Dr. Martin, and Dr. Litt. I remember those days. I remember your daddy I was just a kid when he was over the hospital, but back then, I never dreamed that we would get in the kind of condition we were on. We were on the brink of closing the hospital. I mean, that's what was fixing to happen. I mean, the taxpayers couldn't take it any longer. Or the commission didn't think the taxpayers needed any more. I mean, we could have raised taxes and kept it open more, but we were fighting a losing cause. But property, I think it will probably come down in 26 when they do the reappraisal. Any other questions? Donna, you got anything?
What's the snow policy at the courthouse?
You'll have to ask Miss Linda Lambert. Miss Linda Lambert is the weather meteorologist.
I know we got a lot of questions today about the snow policy.
Yeah. Miss Linda, she always keeps me up to date on the weather. She tracks these fronts. But I appreciate letting me talk. Like I say, maybe you'll find somebody better than this here.
No, we appreciate you coming.